we've been definitely having a lot of talks about, what's been going on in the world. And they've been beneficial because, you have guys, well, we have everyone that's able to, kind of see where other people are coming from and how each person is viewing things, and it kind of help people understand, and that's kind of the key that we want, everyone on the team to understand, is that we want everybody to have an understanding of each other, and also what's going around, well, what's going on around. And as far as the new teammates, we've included them in, everything, obviously, and kind of, just that had them introduce themselves, and kind of give a background, being that we are not able to, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened, but being that we're not able to, physically interact with them, we kind of just got questions, come pop quiz or whatever, pop trivia, just to see, a background of themselves or whatever. And this whole situation, as far as us communicating with each other, has actually, helped us or whatever, because, it's been difficult. We know we can't be on the field. We know we can't, interact with each other like physically, but it's, this Zoom call actually, helps us see each other's faces, obviously. But I don't know, it just kind of helps us build a different type of chemistry than what we can in person. But I don't know.
Justin Rogers.
Hey, Justin, it was obviously a little bit different than the George Floyd case, but some of the stuff came home to you in Brunswick during this offseason as well with Ahmaud. And I was just wondering how that hit you on maybe a different level, being back home, and what were your experiences growing up in Brunswick?
Yeah, honestly, I never thought like a situation like that would hit so close. I've seen it happen, and across the country. I've seen it, happen, another state over or something like that. But for it to be someone that I actually grew up with, kind of like shocked me. And Ahmaud actually, was one of my younger brother's best friends, and just to watch him, dealing with the situation, brings pain to me. And I'm just, obviously everyone wanted justice, for the situation, because, it was just a wrongdoing. And I'm just not sure how we could, change the situation. Like, not change the situation. I'm just not sure how we could create a change, but, definitely have been, getting involved with things, as far as, we got the Black Lives Matter thing going around, and it's, we just want to open up eyes and help, educate people on what's going on, like what's really happening in the world, because, we want it to be a better place,
Dave Burkett.
Justin, thanks for joining us, and I'm popping in a second late, so I apologize if some of this has been asked already. But just following up on the Ahmaud thing real quick, do you have a favorite memory of him? Even if it was him and your brother, is there something that you just remember from growing up with him?
It's funny because you know how they have I Run with Mod, and they have a hashtag and all that. But the funny thing is, when I was going to school with him, he would actually, run from a workout. Like, he did not want to work out. And so, like, if anybody knew him, they would know he didn't want to work out, in the weight room. But, sometimes he did what he had to do, but it was like, oh my gosh, like, why I got to do this? But, he was always, a funny person in general. Like, he was like a comedian, and, everything he said to me was like, made me cracking laugh or whatever, So I don't know. He was just always in a workout sense. He wasn't so positive, but when it came to just life and handling situations, he was always a positive person. And he always smiled. And I don't know. I could just remember on the football field one time where I guess he had to like tackle someone, and he came back on the sideline and was like, he just was like, man, that's a grown man out there. Like, it just made me laugh, like in the midst of us losing the game. I don't know. And then I just thought he always found a way to make somebody laugh, and that was a great characteristic about him.
Besides football, did you play any other sports with him, or hang with him on a personal level a lot?
No, I didn't play any. Well, we had to run track. We was actually forced to run track. So, but any other sport, no. He was a good basketball player. I didn't play basketball with him. I mean, we had basketball goals at home. I used to play outside with him every other month or whatever, whenever I saw him. But I really just hung out with his older brother. And his older brother was like literally best friends with my brother, like my older brother. And so it's like we was like connected like on a different level. Like my brother was best friends with his brother. My younger brother was best friends with him. And then I went to school, like I was classmates with their sister. So it just, we were just all kind of like, growing up together and knowing each other for that long period of time.
So that was very personal for you when he died.
Yeah.
Sorry. Are you in Atlanta right now, or are you in Georgia right now? I'm sorry.
No, I'm currently in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Okay. No, I didn't know if you still kept a residence in Georgia, and if you would have voted yesterday, seen any of what went on with the voting. But since you're not in Georgia,
Yeah.
So I appreciate it.
No problem.
Mike Rothstein.
There we go. Hey, Justin, thanks for doing this. I had a couple more questions, I guess, related to Ahmaud. What have the conversations been like with you and Tracy over the last couple of months? Because obviously Tracy and him were cousins. And have you all talked about doing anything, or is there anything you all are doing, whether it's in Brunswick, for him specifically?
Honestly, it's like me and Tracy had not talked much about it, but when we did, we just talked about the situation, and like we just talked about the details. We wanted more information, because only information we had was just as much information everybody else was seeing. So we just wanted to know more information about it. Yeah, we talked about how wrong it was, and how difficult it is to deal with it, and like now it's bringing attention to the city or attention to his family, and but one thing I told him is that I remember I just remember Ahmaud saying something like he not sure what his purpose of his life was, but I was just thinking in my head like, dang, like your purpose basically, what I'm saying, was like to start this movement, like try to change the world, because it's like now your life does have a purpose. Your name is being continuously talked about every single day now. But other than that, like we didn't really talk too much about it. But I think what they were doing was was just trying to raise money for the family and try to help them get through the situation, and just kind of help them in that aspect.
Thanks, Justin. I appreciate it.
Tim.
Hey, Justin, I want to fit a football question in, if you don't mind. Just maybe just first impressions of the Rook, Jeff Okudah. Obviously, when you're picked that high, there's some expectations there. Just curious, what you've seen of his game. If you've looked back, obviously you haven't seen it in person. And then also, what advice would you give to a rookie cornerback like that? Obviously, you've been through this before. What's maybe a good piece of advice you'd give Jeff?
Well, I'm gonna say he came in there I mean, just knowing off of his his college career, he already knew what type of guy he is. So I feel like he coming in here pretty confident, in his ability, but he's also hungry. Like I can see that he want to learn everything is possible. He asking questions and stuff when we on Zoom meetings, and he just want to know more. As far like when coaches going over plays or whatever, he'll ask a question about certain thing that doesn't even have to do with cornerback, and so it just shows that he know a lot about football. And what was the other question?
Just maybe a piece of advice you'd give a rookie cornerback like that. Obviously, a tough position. You're on an island. You know it better than anyone else. What's maybe a good piece of advice a vet would give a rookie cornerback coming in?
Well, I can't talk about penalties, so he haven't gotten the penalty his senior career, in his senior year. Or whatever.
Yeah, didn't have one last year. Yeah,
I'm gonna just say really just say compete to the end, because it's professional level. Guys are extraordinary, just like you are, and sometimes I seen where rookies are they're on the play, they're right there at that moment, but just didn't make the play. Couldn't get the ball out, and so I'm gonna just say he just have to compete to finish, and because that'll take him a long way. I'm talking about a long way, because I also seen where guys would give up in the middle of the play, because I don't know, they learned a habit or something, and I feel like that'll help them out a lot.
Thank you,
Dave.
Two things, Justin. First, that was pretty powerful what you just said about Ahmaud, about changing the world. When he said he didn't know what his purpose was in life, where was that? What was the moment that he said that to you?
It was probably like after he graduated high school, and so I was probably a sophomore or freshman in college, and that's around the time we was hanging out a little bit more with my brother, and he kind of veered away from, I guess you could say he kind of lost himself or something, or he didn't. I don't know. He just was experiencing growing up, basically.
You
Yeah,
were back home in Brunswick though, just hanging out essentially?
Yeah, I came home and I used to just hang out with him and family. He'd come around every now and then to my grandmother's house, and his brother would come around, and he just felt that way. And I mean, I didn't know what to say to him. I'm just like, I don't know your purpose, So I didn't know what to say to him. But at the time, I thought he was just talking around, just talking, and I mean, now that it's just something that came to my attention, like, dang, he said something along those aspects, and then I was just like, wow, now this happened. It was years before this happened, years, but it's still just, I don't know, it just fit that way in my mind.
Still very powerful. The one football thing I did want to ask you was just, you guys, statistically, I think you had the worst pass defense in the NFL last season. Just as a cornerback, how much blame do you, I know it's a team game, but how much blame do you put on the secondary for that? And what gives you hope that you guys will be better in 2020?
Oh, no, we don't blame anyone. Yeah, it's a team sport and we, have to work as a unit. But, if you think about it, if each individual player, gets better, you're actually helping the team. So I'm gonna say if I could have played, like, did a lot better and helped myself, but play like at a, at a Pro Bowl level or whatever you want to say, if I can just stay more consistent, I could have helped the team do a lot better. But as far as the rest of the secondary, I can't speak for them, but I can say what I could have did to help. And along with that second question, what was that again?
No, that was it. Just what gives you hope for this year, I guess was
okay. I mean, I'll have hope every game. It's not about the year or whatever, but I'm just saying that you know, we got a new opportunity to show who we are. We got a new opportunity to, you know, come on stage and, you know, shine or whatever. And, you know, I'm real confident in these guys because, you know, they showing that they want to, you know, not just be a good secondary, but want to win championships. And, you know, when you start thinking on a bigger aspect and having a huge goal, I feel like, you know, as long as everybody moving on the same pace, we can get to that goal that we're looking for.
Great. Thank you.
All right, we'll go last question, Ken Brown.
Hey, Justin, how you doing?
How you doing, Ken?
Good. I don't know if this has been asked. I came in late. Any worries as I see the season's going to be going on, if it's going to proceed? Any worries about the coronavirus and things you will be doing different, say locker room, on the field, off the field? Any things that you yourself are worried about as we go forward, and anything that you think the team would be worried about?
I mean, definitely everybody's worried about, you know, contracting it or whatever, but I think we just gonna, you know, do our best just to, you know, not, and that starts with just staying clean and washing our hands with whatever, with, you know, whatever it takes. But, you know, that, I guess that goes along the lines of, you know, rather if people are going to actually do it, you know, and, you know, that's just going to be the new standard, I guess, that you're just going to have to become more, you know, sanitary, and, you know, coming into locker rooms have to be more sanitary. And I don't know how that's going to work, you know, with masks and stuff. So I'm assuming, like, you know, if they test us, as long as you don't have contract the virus, that you'll be good. And so that'll give everybody, you know, more of a comfort zone to know that nobody in the building has it or whatever.